New champions crowned on a championship night. Everything really heats up in RWE, and plus, a new chapter will begin, and the future of RWE looks very, very bright. All this and more tonight on the Power Hour. Live and next, join us.
Welcome to the RWE Power Hour, and here are your hosts, the voice of the RWE, DJ Mike T, and the Dean of Arkansas Sportscasting, Cornbread, Chris Heineken.
Hello to a very special art edition of the RWE Presents the Power Hour. I am your host, the voice of the RWE, DJ Mike T, alongside my co-host. He is the Dean of Arkansas Sports and Wrestling. He is Cornbread, Chris Heineken. And you can see the shirts that we had worn this past Saturday night where it says RWE made this town. And first and foremost, for the past 3 years that RWE has been up and running, we want to say from the bottom of our hearts, thank you for sticking with us through not only every single up, but every single down that we have had. And because of that, we could not have done it without you guys watching us at home. Not only are you watching us on the YouTube channel, but you're also watching us here on Tuesday nights, as well as we are simulcasting this to our YouTube channel as well. So I want to say thank you guys for tuning in and watching both of us on YouTube and the RWE Facebook page. And we have a stacked show tonight. But it's mainly the show that we're going to talk about tonight is the last show at RWE. Not for the last show of RWE, period, but the last show.
Grubs in particular.
Now, Cornbread, I do know that you have a very special announcement that you're going to make here in a little while.
Yeah, they'll be coming up later on tonight. Hopefully, we'll tell you all about it before we go off the air tonight. So please stay tuned. Like I said, we got a whole lot to get to. And yes, like you saw in the previous video package, before we join everything live and in progress, yes, I was following the AP meeting. I was in Newport. Following that meeting, I did have an opportunity to go and talk to one Mr. Joey Britt. We'll talk about that, all of that coming up here tonight. Mike?
Right. Well, first things first, let's talk about the crowd that we had this past Saturday night.
Oh, yeah.
And just a second real quick. I'm having to type something in real quick here.
Okay. And Mike, while you do that, you was talking about thanks and everything. Why don't we give a little shout out to somebody that's going to be here with us in the future? And that being the one and only Kill J for the song Revolution Bell. You done heard it. Guess what? Why don't you find them up? YouTube, iTunes, or Spotify is Revolution Bell. Their album is currently out right now. And they're working on a brand new project. Also, Facebook.com/official KillJ and ReverbNation.com/official KillJ. That's where you're going to find any and everything KillJ and Revolution. RWE, that is. Mike?
Absolutely. And with everything that we had going on this past Saturday night, I mean, it was such a big crowd that we literally had Jackson County Sheriff's Department out there, and we cannot thank them enough.
Absolutely.
For enjoying the show that they had, and not only that, but to ensure the safety of everybody, especially with some of the matches that we had going on.
Oh, yeah.
Well, first things first is we started off with I don't know, what would you call it? A state of the RWE address or just a state of the address?
It would be the state of the RWE address. Um, that'd be the better way to put it. State of RWE address. Um, and everything that had to be addressed, and of course, right before we tossed everything to our flag and everything, I had to make a public statement, not just on behalf of the RWE, but also on behalf of Syndicated Media Television Partners Group. With our thoughts and our prayers go out to the family of Tier Nichols. But yeah, it was the state of the RWE, and it was a side of joy that we never thought we'd ever see.
Right. Well, we're going to go ahead and bring our guests a little bit early right now because they was one of the first ones out there, and I want to get their reactions real quick. So at this time, I can't believe that I am saying this, but first guest is going to be the former RWE Junior Heavyweight Champion Ray Ivy, as well as Cove, who were the two of the four that were out there.
Mm.
Ray, can you hear us? Cove, can you hear us?
Yes, I can. Hi,
Well,
Cole.
First things first, I
How
want
you doing?
you guys real quick. With everything that went on at the beginning of the show, I want to get your guys' reactions, starting with you first, Ray.
Sadly, this isn't the first situation that I've been in like that with the company that I was with, I was working for at the time. But even though you do them multiple times, even though you've done them before, it doesn't make it any easier at all. Especially when it's a company like, and I'm not just saying it because the company I work for now, but especially when it's a company like RWE that has done nothing but give 110% back to not only the wrestlers, but the community that we are in at that time. And I'm, me and Cole have been there since day one. And 3 years on the indie circuit that, somebody that stays in one area that long, that becomes home, that becomes family. That, I know families, quote unquote, tossed around a lot in the industry, but that's what RWE truly is a family. Some come, some go, some when they go away for, almost a year or two, and then they come back. For example, this past Saturday was one for the books because we had some major returns. We had some debuts, and one of the returns this past Saturday was extremely shocking to some people. But at the same time, you heard the reaction, and that I think that was something that me and Cole were looking forward to from the beginning of the night. Well, I say from the beginning of the night, once we found out that it was actually going to be able to happen. To say it was emotional is short. How do you say it? To say it was emotional
will be an understatement.
Yeah.
There's no words that can describe it, because yes, me and Cove, as always, we were in there laughing, having fun, but at the same time, I'm pretty sure we were both doing it to cover up the emotions. Because I try not to show emotion, but
I can't tell you how many times during the State of RWE address that you could probably see me on camera walking over to Ray and being like, okay, if he doesn't stop, I'm going to tear up. All right, that line right there is going to do it. And we both thought that throughout the whole speech for sure.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Well, I know during the speech that he was giving, you can actually see.
I wouldn't have rather and I know I'm not just saying it because Cove's over there. I wouldn't have rather been standing next to anyone else because me and Cole's been through a lot in this company in this last 3 years.
Let me. Are you talking about that whole month? It's kind of a blur.
No.
Okay, we'll just okay.
I'm talking about the reunion that happened. The way that all started off. It was a respect thing starting off, then it turned into one of the hottest things to ever grace the doors of RWE.
Mm-hmm.
And when an era comes to an end, some people see it as emotional, some people see it as a downfall, but I'll take the words of Miss Charlene Britt when she gave the speech in the locker room Saturday. Cornbread, Thompson, Cove, y'all were all there.
Yep.
Some people see this as a knockdown. Some people see this as somebody stumbling us. But what we need to look at it as, this is a blessing.
Yes.
Joey said it best. He's tired. We're tired, man. He's tired of fighting. He's tired of fighting with the city council that we helped get in. I'll bluntly say it. We helped get in.
Mm-hmm.
I know we did.
But by God, he's not too tired to fight. He's never too tired to fight. That's one thing I can say about that man. When he puts his mind to something, just shut up. You ain't gonna stop. Just get out the hell out the way. You're not gonna stop.
Reminds me of somebody else I know.
Yeah, there in the bottom corner.
There you go. Diagonal.
But go ahead with your next question.
Well, actually, Cove, I want your reaction to basically the same thing with all the emotions that was going on and like Ray, I'll bluntly say it, from the news that we got Thursday night to Saturday.
Uh-huh.
The emotions, because I remember me and you Thursday night, we sat in the back and talked for a good 20 minutes wondering where do we go from here.
Uh-huh.
And coming into the show Saturday night, I want to get from your emotions.
Man, I don't know. I mean, I found out roughly 10 minutes before everybody else found out. So whenever I didn't know how to feel yet. It sucked. It was a punch in the gut. And I remember walking in the building for training, and I just turned and looked at you, and I said, "Hey, it's not good." We got everybody. This is a little inside ball, but we got everybody in the ring. Everybody that was there that night. Joey got in the middle of the ring and told the boys that what was going on, and that we didn't know yet. We didn't know what it meant. We didn't know what any of this looked like. All we knew right then is that it sucked, because just like you said, just like Ray said, I mean, for an entire year, we had people campaigning in our building during our events, telling us to vote for change and talking about how much they were wanting to do for us and how much they loved us. And then to have that regime in office for less than 28 days and to have that vote done without even a phone call was not only disrespectful, but just disheartening. I mean, it was, I think more than anything, more than it pissing us off, I think it really just hurt, because that's a place that we have made. You seen the shirts last weekend. We made that town. RWE is the reason why people came. Yeah, there you go. RWE is the reason why people came there, man. So, but I'll leave that there and just talk about the stab in the back, Jeff Gray. That's correct. I'll just say that I'll leave that part alone as far as the city council and the nothing. Hey, man, whatever. I think Joey kind of said it best. They know where they can go and how to get there. But I will say that.
Can I say two words and then I'll let you take back over? Yeah. Their loss.
Yeah. Oh, man. Yeah, It's their loss, man, and they'll
Monster.
see that soon enough, and they'll ask for us back. And that's fine, man. It's just, yeah. But emotionally, dude, it sucked. It was a wreck. It still sucks. Even though we know that RWE is not done, we're not closed. We are moving forward. We are moving forward someone else. I just want to help put those rumors to bed right now. Unless something crazy happens, which, never say never. But as of right now, I mean, everything looks very, very well for the future of RWE. It is a blessing in disguise. It's going to be a very big year.
And I remember Joey Britt did say in the ring that no matter where we go, Newport is, I do know that he's already had the town with him saying that Newport is ready for RWE. And the biggest thing that he did say there is we're no longer renting, that the next building we do get, if and when we do get it, that it will be a permanent fixture inside the town of Newport.
Well, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to, take over your time there for a second, Cove. Oh, he muted himself. I thought he was cussing me.
We do that behind your back. We don't do it to your face.
Cove, he found out 10 minutes before y'all walked in. Y'all walked into training.
Yeah.
I was sitting here playing the game and I dozed off. And I woke up to like 30-something messages. And because, me and a couple of friends are in a group chat together. And I woke up to a screenshot of what was posted on Facebook. And like there was a pit in my stomach. Like I know I said it in the ring Saturday, but when my final match does happen, it'll happen with RWE. And I literally, Cove was sitting there when I told this. I walked in and I asked Joey Britt if Saturday was the last show for RWE, period. And he looked at me and he said, at that point in time, he was like, well, when I first asked him, he said he didn't know because we didn't, like Cove said, we didn't know the future. It was all thrown on us at one time. And when I walked in and talked to him Saturday, he said, that's not the end of RWE because I had already stated that if it was the end, Saturday would have been my last match. But, Cove can explain it better when it comes to, because I was there like the second or third show, but Cove was there from the first show.
Well, I actually, crazy enough, missed the first show, and then we got shut down for COVID. But yeah, I was there the day we got the keys to the building. I got a phone call saying, hey, come to Grubbs. And I said, who's that? I didn't know where it was, what it was, who it was. I didn't know what was going on. If it was food reference, I wasn't sure. But,
I was
I
thinking the same
didn't
thing.
know. They sent me the address, and I pulled up, and Joey Britt opened the door to a wrecked building. And I asked him, I said, well, how long until we're running? And he said, 2 weeks. And I was like, you have got to be kidding me. And you know what?
In other words,
he did
though,
it.
right?
He did it. And he made it happen. So if there's one thing I know about our boss, our owner, is that where there's a will, there's a Joey Britt. And that's, if anybody wants to believe in something, believe in that, man. We got the best boss there is, period, in the state of Arkansas for sure. Somebody who goes hard for his guys if they go hard for him, and that's true. So, honestly, Ray, I know that you've had a much more storied career and a longer career, but I'll say it here, and this is the first time I've even thought about it, but had Saturday been the last RWE show, it probably would have been the last show for Cove too.
And,
I just can't see myself. I can see myself working other places here and there. We did something with MCW and we got other places around, whatever. But
Lost to
I couldn't
fines,
see
that's
myself
for
doing it
sure.
if I didn't have home to come back.
Oh yeah,
I couldn't see myself doing it if I didn't have home to come back to. So if there is no RWE, there is no me, there is no Ray, there is no. I heard that same comment from another guy in the back that said they wouldn't wrestle after Saturday. So
it's so funny that Erica posted that comment that you just showed.
Mhm.
I'm not
Same here.
going to sugarcoat nothing. Y'all know me. Sometimes I'm blunt to a fault.
Still blunt.
And when RWE first opened up, I was working down the road. I was in Tuckerman, Arkansas.
Right?
Yes. And by God, I built that show from scratch. No.
My bad. I'm trying not to get canceled.
And one thing about it is I've never looked at a show opening up down the road as a bad thing. It's a good thing. It's competition. It makes you want to better your product. But at the same time, I looked at it as it's Grubs, whatever, dude. Because I've been through Grubs. I had never wrestled there, but I had been through there because I used to drive all the time. And I was like, okay, it's Grubs, Arkansas, whoop-de-doo, it ain't going to draw nothing, And then and I'll give them props even before I came there, man. Their first show, they had over 400 something people.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
And, then boom, COVID hit. When we first started being able to, come back to shows while COVID, whatever was still going, we were still drawing 100 something people a weekend, even with the screwed up seating charts that we had to do.
Mm-hmm.
So when you sit there, and I'm not trying to dog anybody, but when you got something going good, why do you want to cut this, lifeline?
Yeah.
I'm not the brightest person in the book. I'm not the smartest by any means. I've had multiple head injuries, concussions, whatever you want to call it. But
that's concussions talking.
I mean, maybe it knocks some sense into me. I don't know, but if something's building me profit, I don't want to get rid of it.
Yeah, I mean.
Next question, Mike. Before I go off.
I was going to say that there's way more we could say that we don't need to say.
Oh,
so
absolutely. Well, I do want to get in and well, Ray, with one of those you just said right there, with one of your concussions, I remember it was actually a 6-person tag, and I'll go ahead and say it. It was the Misfits versus the Manai. Somebody decided to jump off of a ladder and hit head first on concrete.
Oops.
And this guys, please plug your ears, but it went 10 times harder, and I'm about a good 10 feet away, and it sounded like a shotgun went off in my ear. This man right here in the lower corner of your screen is one of the toughest, and I will go ahead and say it, and Joey Britt, you can find me, is one of the toughest son of a bitches in wrestling today. To get up from something like that, glassy-eyed, to still finish the fight for the love of the sport that he has, to me, is a true pioneer of this business that we all love.
Last Wednesday marked 21 years.
Congratulations.
And thank you. And countless injuries that I have had. I know this is going to sound stupid to some people. I wouldn't change a thing. Why? Because overcoming the adversities, overcoming the odds, overcoming roadblocks put in my way has made me who I am.
Mhm.
And the fact that I'm able to still do what I do, it amazes me. But coming back from people knocking me down, saying I can't do it,
Mhm.
that makes me want to drive it home much harder. So,
I mean, technically, that's that's what makes us who we are. Adversity is just a bridge, and I've always was taught that, and it's totally the truth, especially with all the adversity that, and of course, as everybody knows, I joined this company back in March of 2021, right before the 1 year anniversary, and adversity is a bridge, and you can either use that to get you to the next spot, which would be your blessed spot, or you can end up using it as a back deal, and you end up turning your back, and all of a sudden you turn into a pinch of salt.
absolutely. I want to point out something in one of the comments from Chris Bryant right there. Now, that one, yes. I want to, yes, I did work for WFAC, Wrestling for a Cause. I want to personally say thank you to Chris Bryant, lineman, for bringing me into that area of Newport, because it was at WFAC where I met Joey Britt.
Mm-hmm.
And if it wasn't for Chris Bryant, I wouldn't have got to meet the guy that I work for today that I consider family, that I consider one of my best friends in the business. And if it wasn't for Joey Britt, I wouldn't have met Cove. And the last 3 years wouldn't have happened. And yes, me and Cove have gotten in trouble a couple of times together.
Only a couple.
But
I don't recall.
It was some fun times.
Yeah.
Not family friendly, but it was fun times.
Yeah. Well, guys, we're going to take a quick commercial break. When we come back,
in case anybody needs.
What?
Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt the commercial. 1 second.
No, you're good. Go ahead.
In case anybody needs to know what he's talking about, there was a month long where he whooped my ass, and that's what he's talking about. So let me clear that up. It did happen. I cheated him out of the title a few times. So what? We're over it.
A few. And cut for commercial.
You guys stick around, because I'm definitely going to have you guys come in later on.
Come in.
You guys got to cut.
Enter.
We'll be right back with these commercials.
Did you know that summer heat weakens a car battery and that winter cold can expose a battery's weakness and keep your vehicle from starting? O'Reilly Auto Parts tests batteries for free so you can be sure of your battery's condition and lifespan. Just stop by one of our nearby stores and let a parts professional know you'd like your battery tested. They've got the equipment to come out and test it right in the parking lot. Or if your car won't start and you can't get it jump started, just bring the battery in to us. We can test and charge the battery at the counter, also for free. If it won't charge or it's too weak, we carry a full line of Super Start batteries to fit your vehicle and get you back on the road. In many cases, we can even help install a new one for free, right there at the curb with a new battery purchase. Ask about free battery testing at your local O'Reilly Auto Parts.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
And we are back. We've already had a hot start to the show, but just like this past Saturday night, we had a hot start. And right before we was getting ready to do the national anthem like we normally do our opening and everything like that,
Mm-hmm.
out came this gentleman right here who's going to be our next guest if he is still on the phone. He is none other than Lucky P. Larson, Esquire, manager to the Stars. Lucky, are you still there by chance?
It's about time you get to the only one that matters around here, you bald twit.
Well, the reason why I wanted to get you on the show is,
Ratings.
well, we already had that before I got you on, unless you was able to make some phone calls. But the really reason is the situation between you and Joey Britt with your now new client who represents the Orchestrated Rebellion, Rip Holiday. And I want to get your take on all that.
Well, if we're all done whining and crying over Joey Britt losing his precious little building in this godforsaken hellhole, I mean, it's Arkansas. Who really cares? One town versus another. The bottom line is the real tragedy here is the complete disrespect shown for Rip Holiday and Lucky P. Larson Esquire. I will tell you this. Everyone is saying how RWE made grubs. No. Lucky P. Larson Esquire made grubs, made every single city he goes into. And I did no different for this company. And Joey Britt has the absolute gall. Oh, I'm sorry, your listeners probably don't know what that word means. That means the absolute just testicular. Well, you probably don't have those. He was rude enough to actually put his hands on me. I mean, I had to actually take 3 showers when I got home to get the stink of grubs and Joey Britt off of myself. You know, everyone's sitting there saying, oh, if there was no RWE, there'd be no me. If there was no RWE, I'd move on to bigger and better things. But I'm still going to be here. I'm not leaving RWE because wherever RWE goes, Joey Britt's going to be there, and I'm going to be there in his face to get what I'm owed. That man does not put his fingers on me and live to tell about it without paying a serious price.
Well, another question that I have for you is you brought up a very valid point, and
I always do.
And that being that RWE didn't put grubs on the map, but you did. Now, is that your time when you was running with the Rat Pack, the LA Hustlers, or anybody else that you represent in RWE, i.e. the Misfits and Wade Matthews?
As is obvious or should be obvious to most people with a brain, which again pretty much rules out most of the RWE fan base who has little teeth, let alone brain cells. The bottom line is whoever associates themselves with Lucky P. Larson Esquire automatically elevates their standing in whatever company they're in and this great industry. So I make whoever I'm with better, and we make whatever company we're in must see.
Cornbread?
All right, first off, Lucky, thank you for being here with us.
Your pleasure.
And second off, you know, you brought up, and you and Mike both brought up the issue with any and everyone that's associated with you, client-wise. Whether it's the LA Hustlers, hashtag the Rat Pack, or whether it's the now defunct Misfits to now the TOR. Answer this question, if you will.
Keep in mind, I did not manage the defunct Misfits. I was brought in by one person who I served my purpose with. Thank you.
Okay. Then answer this question, if you will. And we really want this in front of the whole world. And that is this. Are you the Rat Pack and the LA Hustlers, quote unquote, family?
Without question. No hesitation.
And you know the reason why I asked that question is because Hustlers are soon to return. Plus, with everything going on, one of your members of that Rat Pack is the new Bluff City Tag Team champ, one half of the Bluff City Tag Team champions. And you talk about a takeover. So let me ask this question. Is your agenda different for the previous RWE is going to be different than any other agenda you got coming up for the new RWE?
Well, I guess when the new RWE comes into existence, you'll find out along with everybody else. I already know what my plans are. My plans always succeed. I'm Lucky P. Larson, Esquire, for a reason. The manager of champions for a reason. I have now managed 30, count them, 30 champions and counting. I know what I'm doing. Don't get in my way or I'll run right over you.
Mike?
Well, Cornbread, real quickly, we want to go ahead and bring on his client that we've got right now that he represented this past Saturday night, and that is none other than the American Outlaw, Rip Holiday. Rip, I've got just one question to you, and then I'm going to let Cornbread take over. 8.5 seconds. How long it took?
But why don't you before you stop talking? Why don't you tell the rest of the story and tell how Joey Britt attacked the man from behind, used a rag that was covered in ether, hit him in the gonads, and used a chain and held the tights. Why don't you?
Okay. I'm gonna stop you right there, Lucky. I mean, you may be the manager of the Stars, but my question is where are you getting all this evidence?
I was closer to the ring than you were.
It is all on video
in the ring.
That literally rebelling, and therefore you deterred your client from laying hands on Joey Britt, which allowed Joey Britt to come in with the and get the 1, 2, 3.
No, because my client is a man. He doesn't attack people from behind. He was ready to face him one-on-one, face-to-face in a fair fight. Joey Britt knew he had no chance, knew he had no shot, knew he couldn't lace this man's boots. Therefore, he attacked him from behind. Tell me I'm wrong. Go ahead, Rip. Tell him.
Okay.
I've even got the bruises on my elbow from where Joey Britt hit me with that stupid briefcase the other night. You know, I had to go get an x-ray on my elbow, Thompson.
See, I'd never do something like that.
Did it hit the funny bone?
It broke my arm.
I would never do something like that with that briefcase. That shows you the low life that Joey Britt is. Attacking a man with somebody else's briefcase. He steals it from me and then attacks somebody with it.
And then cheap shots Pete for no reason.
All right, well, I've got one question, and then Cornbread, I'm going to let you take over. As soon as RWE's doors open back up, they're in Newport, Arkansas. I'm sure you know where that's at, Lucky. Provide the true physical evidence of the rag soaked with ether, the chain, all this evidence that you're saying that Joey Britt did. Then, just then, maybe we will believe you. But
I don't care whether you believe me or not. I know what the truth is. Rip Holiday knows what the truth is. Anybody in that crowd whose eyesight is better than bifocal, trifocal, quadruple focal knows what happened.
Cornbread.
I mean, are you going to believe your own eyes or me?
I'm probably going to have to believe myself and the true video evidence that was played all over YouTube.
Okay,
ever since the show
video
uploaded.
evidence? Yeah.
What?
Have you ever seen Forrest Gump? Do you think that Tom Hanks really met with President Kennedy? I don't think so. Was Jeff Goldblum really chased by dinosaurs? I don't think so. Did Joey Britt pin Rip Holiday cleanly? I don't think so.
Cornbread, I'm going to let you take on this one.
I'm trying to keep a straight face right now. But anyway.
Yeah, because you know that everything that this man is saying is a joke.
Well,
this whole deal between me and Joey Britt is not over by a long shot, Cornbread.
Well,
Joey Britt thinks that he got the upper hand the other night, and he may be real proud of himself right now. But I promise you one thing. When RWE is back up and going again, Joey Britt has not heard the last from me. And I promise you, he's probably not heard the last from Lucky P. Larson, Esquire.
Damn right. Not till
Okay.
I own this company.
Okay, let's really get on to the issue here. And the issue is this. The deal that prompted Mr. Rip Holiday to decide to call up the lawyer as hashtag Mr. Esquire himself, Lucky P. Larson, was the fact that multiple times, Rip Holiday, you've called out Joey Britt. You said he was bad for business and all of that. And then, even when the situation
said Joey Britt was bad for business, Cornbread, don't go putting words in my mouth. Just because I rooted for Justin Case and said that Joey was going to lose his job, why would I not want Joey to lose his job? Look at how many times he screwed me over in the past. Look how many times he screwed over Jordy Randall.
And you're saying how Joey Britt is good for business? What happened to his business? He just got kicked out. That proves my client right.
So the whole entire time you're admitting right now to the world that it's Joey's fault?
I'm not on that board. I have no idea. I just know that I was in the ring with him. He smelled. Maybe they had enough of him.
But you don't think that Rip Holiday somehow, some way has been bottom line trying to quote unquote get underneath Joey Britt's skin, despite the fact that he has had come up with a couple of wins out of that whole situation. And you honestly think that bottom line that Rip Holiday didn't somewhat provoke Joey Britt? Especially when the chair came and ended up hitting him in the head and ended up him summoning you.
No, he didn't. Did he? If you were there last weekend in Grubbs, my client did not attack Joey Britt. My client did not threaten Joey Britt. My client did not even challenge any physicality on Joey Britt. We were there to talk, and I was there to tell him that he was going to be served with legal paperwork, and he immediately challenged my client to a fight, and knowing he couldn't win a fair fight, cheated. That's what happened. He turned it physical.
And to answer your question, Cornbread, I've not began to get underneath the skin of Joey Britt yet. Joey Britt has no idea what I'm capable of. And I promise you one thing, as far as Joey Britt's concerned, I'm just getting started, bud.
And I guarantee you none of you have a clue what I'm capable of.
Well, I do have one question, and then I'll let you guys go. Hey, Rip, how does JPJ's fist taste?
Hey, what? I'll take this, and I'll tell you this much. If you're not careful, you're going to be the next one that gets kicked in the teeth, knocked out, and sued. Treat the man with some respect.
Man, that going program, I'll take it, man.
Okay.
And you always be sincere, even if you don't mean it.
You may be the next one to take a dirt nap, Thompson. You keep running your mouth.
Well, guys, I appreciate you coming on.
Yeah.
We're going to take a quick commercial break. When we come back, street fight, or was it just as physical as all?
Keep laughing, Cornbread.
Bender, rear-ended, wrap your car around a tree. You need L&M Body Shop. L&M Body Shop in Newport, Arkansas is your source for all your body repair needs. Whether it's a simple dent repair, a gouge in your paint, or you need someone to paint the body of that project car you've been tinkering on, you don't need to look any further than L&M Body Shop in Newport. L&M Body Shop's professionally trained staff will treat your ride with the respect it deserves, and will have it looking like it just rolled off the showroom floor. And if you don't mind driving around in a beat-up ride, that's okay too. L&M Body Shop has a huge shop full of toys, antiques, novelties, specialty items, and collectibles, so stop and check us out. 2620 Highway 367 North in Newport, Arkansas, next door to Charlene's Hair Salon. Come by or call us today and schedule your free estimate. 870-512-8187. That's 870-512-8187. L&M Body Shop. We meet by accident.
And we are back.
Well,
and,
accident. I was about to say it ain't no accident for you joining us here live in public, if you will. But man, I'm sorry, I couldn't stop laughing on Dirt Nap.
Did he just threaten me with a dirt nap?
Yes.
Okay, but here's my question: how can somebody threaten me with a dirt nap if they sound like Boomhauer off of King of the Hill?
Yes. I'm sorry.
Because is it me or I could not understand a word he was saying?
I'm sorry.
I mean, that's what it sounded like to me.
Yeah.
But
and it wasn't a country boy speaking in tongues either. I'm just saying.
Right. The next match I want to talk about was the street fight between two members of the BMF, the Morale Wade Matthews and the Muscle Christian Cross, taking on Christian Cross's old former teammates in a group known as DFP, now known as Paragon. And, well, with this, I'm actually going to bring back Cove on because he is part of the Paragon, as well as we're going to bring in a member of the BMF, and that is the Morale Killer, Wade Matthews. Cove, welcome back.
And the master of the side piece. Yep, that being the one and only Mr. Wade Matthews. Welcome.
What's going on, Cornbread?
Well, trying to recover after the last segment, but now we're on this segment talking about this physical, brutal match. And yes, street fight rules. And let's really start off what really ended up shocking all of us. And that was, and I'm going to start with you, Wade. And that was the infamous return.
Oh, yeah. Double J. Well, you know, I knew going into this thing, they wanted to fight. They wanted to fight, so we were going to give them a fight. There are two of them, and there's two of us. But Cove used to be my manager. And I know Cove well. I know he's not going to leave his soldiers out there alone. So I had to make a couple calls. Connor and JRT, they had a match, big championship match. So I made a few calls. And, man, last show in Grubbs, why not call the best in the game? The infamous one, Double J. Cove's longtime rival. Play a little mind games there. And seems like we came out on top.
But you also were managed by this man as well, as far as championship glory and takeovers were concerned.
True. Very true. But, you know, times, they come, they go. Times, they change. Cove found him two new guys. They're looking for a fight. They want to make a name for themselves. They come out. They issue an open challenge. And, you know, myself, Christian, we welcome all challengers. We seem to think and believe that we operate as one of the top tag teams in maybe the history of RWE, spanning over the past year. And they issued an open challenge. Well, who better to take on the open challenge than myself and Christian Cross?
And Cove, I'm gonna come to you. And you and the infamous one had a major issue that was not settled prior. And now all of this resurfaced, and it looked like you two were trying to quote-unquote finish the job, but it was physical between you two other than the four individuals in this match.
Yeah. And to be real honest with you, it's not settled. And as long as he's breathing, it won't be settled, ever. I don't care where we are. I know you guys got to see a nice little curtain call at the end of the show. That's not because it's settled. It's because I do have a mutual respect. And I say mutual because I know that it's there with all of those boys too. We shared a moment in that ring that nobody will ever be able to take from us. However, as long as he's breathing, it's not over. And also, just out of curiosity, Wade Matthews, I'm really, really curious how many cheeseburgers you guys paid him to show up.
Well, I mean, I'm not at liberty to disclose that information. Maybe in a future date behind closed doors, we'll do that. But next question.
Well, I guess I will. Mike, you want to take this one?
Well,
this was physical match, no question about it, Mike.
Absolutely. I mean, with you and Christian Cross, literally, you guys, the last time you guys held the tag team titles was with you and Christian. Going up against Christian Cross's two former tag team members, known as DFP, did he kind of give you a little bit of an insight on what to expect, especially with Justin Vincent?
Yes, he did. And that's another good reason I called up Double J, because Double J was also Christian's manager along with Justin Vincent in DFP for a short time. We gave him a call. I knew going into this thing, Justin Vincent, hey, he's game for a fight. He's a scrappy individual. But you know what? Justin knows Christian's game for a fight. I believe anyone that has tuned in to RWE programming or has been in that building in the last year, Cove knows that I'm game for a fight. We had the Rat Pack Street fight together, baby. So
yeah, match of the year candidate last year.
Yes.
One of.
And Justin, game for a fight. Braden, young, rock kid, bright future ahead of him. He put up one hell of a fight too. I believe we put on quite a brutal spectacle for the city of Grubbs in the last night there.
Well, Cove, I don't know if you're able to look at these comments, but the infamous one right here says, your poor excuse for RWE and pro wrestling. Reason why I'm breathing is because you can't and will not stop me.
Okay. First of all, and Wade, before you open your mouth, this has nothing to do with you because I know you have something to say. I want to. This isn't apples and oranges, right? So I'm not going to compare my career to his because in the short time I've been here, I've surpassed everything he's done and will continue to do so for the rest of my life. Second, you show your ass up at this arena, any arena that you're ever in. I don't care if it's an RWE show or not. It can be any show ever in the state of Arkansas, Tennessee, Missouri, Louisiana. I don't care where it's at. If you show up, I will be there. I will be there. When you close your eyes at night, Double J, I will be there. I'm going to be the reason you can't sleep. I'm going to be the thing that crawls under your skin. I will always be there. Remember that, and we'll see you really soon.
Wow. And Cove, how about the fact that when everybody was literally still brawling on the outside, and you kind of been doing this, 2 back-to-back weeks in a row, that you literally just decide to, quote-unquote, fly off the top rope, or might I say, fly off the ring apron and come, quote-unquote, join the party and take out everybody.
Hey, I mean, he's over here. It's just like Wade said earlier. I mean, I know he's looking for a fight. I know Christian's looking for a fight. And to be honest with you, when I see things getting out of hand, and I'm not going to sit there and just watch it. This isn't the same Cove you've seen for the past 3 years. It's not the same guy who's just going to be slapping on the ring trying to get the fans to join in. If it's a street fight, you better believe I showed up to do the same thing. And it's not that I don't think that they could handle it, because to be honest with you, I've jumped into plenty of fights that Wade was involved in when I managed him, that Lee Michaels was involved in when I managed him. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter, man. If I see things getting out of hand, or if I see that my people need help, you think I'm going to be a Lucky P. Larson and a Double J and just watch it happen? or am I going to join in? So that's what I've done. And I knew, I got to be honest with you too, last week, and I knew that they would have something up their sleeve with it being the last night in Grub. So that's why I came prepared for a fight.
Right.
Well, he comes in right here. Talk as cheap as your so-called career.
Real quick. No, real quick. I'm not letting him get away with that. I'm going to let you boys up top, DJ Mike T and Chris Heineken. Since you've been gone, Triple Cheeseburger, guys, will you please tell him my accolades? I'll wait.
Two-time RWE heavyweight champion, a manager of a 5-time RWE tag team championship run, a RWE 2-time tag team championship as yourself, international 6-man tag team champion, multiple matches underneath your belt, managing 3 of the hottest teams since RWE's inception.
And not stopping ever. So I rest my case.
Well, there was one question since Wade, you with you guys, because both of y'all were in the Call Your Shot Battle Royal.
Mm-hmm.
Going into that, knowing that you guys had the street fight later on in the night,
right?
Was that any more incentive to get in that Rumble to try and scope out the competition?
Well, I think it was less of scoping out the competition because we scoped out the competition the week before. Going into the Rumble, honestly, maybe I want that call your shot opportunity. Maybe I want that. But knowing that Justin Vincent, knowing that Bray Peck were going to be in the same Rumble, and I had no idea. I had no idea Justin Vincent was coming out right after I was. But knowing that they were there and knowing that we had that street fight coming up later, of course, I want to get in the Rumble and soften them up a little bit. Find a little weak spot. Maybe damage the structure of the Paragon before the match even starts.
Well, now,
okay, let me throw this question out. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I was gonna say if actually one of the final 3 in that Rumble was actually Cove. Now, you going into that Rumble, you just heard everything that Wade Matthews said. Going into the match that you had with the Paragon, literally next 25-30 minutes, did that help you get more motivated for the match before you found out that the infamous one was even going to be there?
Man, I had you guys read those accolades, and it's not because I'm vain. It's because I'm proud of them. And I don't ever plan on not continuing to climb that mountain no matter what I'm doing or what my role is. I could be on the commentary desk. If there's an opening for me to be in a Call Your Shot Battle Royal, you bet your ass I'll be there. Now, as far as scouting is concerned, it had nothing to do with that really. By the time I got in there, they were gone. It wasn't – we know each other like the back of our hands. I mean, Wade, he already knows that I know how he operates very well. He knows how Bray and him and Christian both know. I know how Christian operates, but him and Christian both know how Bray and Justin operate very well, especially Christian. But man, it wasn't about any of that. Honestly, it's the same. It's the same thing that constantly runs through. The thing that constantly runs through my head is, man, everybody wants to call your shot, bro. At the end of the day, if there's a chance to add another title to that list, then what do you think I'm going to do?
Well, you see right here, done right here, taken by Erica Black, and you can see, you just talked about it a few moments ago, Cornbread, where Cove is fixing to literally cross-body off the ring apron, and he did this 2 weeks in a row.
Mm-hmm.
You not being fully on-trained, I know you do have some training underneath your belt. What is going through your mind every time you do that? This is 2 weeks in a row, done it now.
It's like I said earlier, man. If I see a brawl or if I see a fight and I see two teams that are battling and there's no upper hand on either side, then what would you do? And to be honest with you, it's another thing that I said earlier is this isn't the same person you've seen for the past 3 years. So buckle up. It's gonna be a bumpy ride for some of you.
Well, now Wade, I've got a piece of video to show both you and Cove, and then after it's done, I want to get your thoughts, and then Cove, I want to get your thoughts after you watch this, as I know while this was going on, you was having to deal with Double J. Let's this video real quick. Now, Wade, that video footage right there, you can literally see, with it being a street fight, you guys were going, and I'm going to say it, balls to the walls on it. Mm-hmm. You ended up actually rupturing Brave Hawk's eardrum during that. But going through that, give me your thoughts on everything that was going on.
Sorry, stepkids. Bray's eardrum. Hey, it's a thing in combat, in fighting. You're going to get punched. You're going to get smacked. It's brutal. You may get choked. You may get your hair pulled. You may get your eyes gouged out. You may get fish hooked. You may get hit with foreign objects. You may get slammed through a table, slammed through a door. You may fall onto thumbtacks. You may get barbed wire wrapped around your head. You may bleed all over the place. Hey, it's the name of the game. It's brutality. Professional wrestling in all shapes, forms, and sizes is a brutal spectacle. And hey, Bray, he was game. Justin, he was game. Me and Christian, we were game. Cove was game. And we came out there and we tore the house down, and injuries, they happen. We have to bounce back from them.
Now, Cove, same question to you. I think that was the first time you actually saw that footage besides watching it on the YouTube show. What was going through your mind once you saw all that?
Man, like I said, I know those guys are brawlers. That's why I put the Paragon together. There's a couple brawlers, guys I knew that weren't afraid to go out there and beat someone's ass. And I know that we were put up against two very tough dudes who were also not afraid to go and to beat someone's ass. And you saw the punches, man. I mean, that just like I hate to agree with this guy, but it's like Wade said, and it's brutality, man. This is the most physical sport. It's very violent. It's very dangerous. And when there's feelings involved, this isn't just a match. This isn't just a typical good guy versus bad guy. No, these are people who have gone to war with each other over and over, and sometimes even on the same teams. So, honestly, when I see that video, I feel nothing but respect for both teams, believe it or not, because that was one hell of a war. And I would have expected nothing less.
Absolutely. There is no off season. Well, there's no off season in professional wrestling.
Preach!
Side pieces. I'm at my side pieces house right now. But no off season. In this next 6 to 8 weeks, whenever we're waiting for RWE to open back up, there is no off season. I'm working out. I'm traveling. I'm taking bookings. I hope these other guys are too. Because whenever we come back, if the Paragon still wants a fight, hey, we're still game for a fight. If anyone at RWE wants a fight, BMF's game for a fight. Wade Matthews is game for a fight. There is no off season, and when RWE comes back bigger, better, and stronger than ever, hey, folks, you better buy your tickets. You better buckle your damn seatbelt, because we're coming back just like we went out, with a bang.
Well, that video packaging you were talking, Cove, Double J comes in. You done this and that. I handed you like use your own imagination, Cove, you are no competition and you don't scare me. I might have been gone.
Okay.
You have no idea what's going to happen to you.
No, listen, I'm the one that ran his ass off for over a year, and I'm the reason why his ass was limping when he went home. It doesn't matter if his boys won. He didn't win anything, just like I didn't win anything. So it's not over. I had to beg your big ass to get in the ring, and then when you finally did, you low-blowed me. What happened after that? I chased you around, chased you under the ring. Dude, it's not over. It's not ever going to be over. You can talk as crazy as you want to, but at the end of the day, when I see you, your ass is mine.
Well, guys, I appreciate you guys giving us your thoughts on that. Wade, I know you said you're traveling. I think you actually have a show coming up this Saturday night. Good luck. And I know wherever you go, it will most likely be a brawl or be a blast.
Hey, all well wishes aside, I don't need luck, baby. When you're this good, it's natural. It's God-given. All you got to do is show up. And I'm going to show up wherever I show up this weekend. It's a mystery. Who knows? Follow me on social media. If you're not following me on social media already, just kidding. I already know all of you are following me on social media already. Why wouldn't you be following me on social media? Look at me. Look at me. I'm the face that runs the place, baby. See this mane of hair? What, you thought just because I had a brutal battle this past weekend that I was going to forget about myself? Talk myself up a little bit, baby. Any more comments or questions?
Can't cast a fleece without a side piece, huh?
And right here, sometimes you got to punch each other in the face. Sometimes for 47 minutes, it's how it goes. Well, my question to you, Wade, is, and then I'm going to ask this question, then we're going to go to commercial. How many kids are you stepdaddying this weekend?
Planning a wedding, party, school dance, or event? ST Entertainment can help you with all of your audio needs. Whether it is formal, semi-formal, or casual, whether it is a large venue or small, ST Entertainment has you covered with the best music, party lights, and high-quality sound for your events needs. ST Entertainment has a huge music selection from all music genres, and we can cater to your music tastes and that of your guests. Call us today for a quote before your special day is booked up, and let ST Entertainment help make your event unforgettable for you and all of your guests. 870-262-7742. That's 870-262-7742. Call today.
And we are back. The next match I want to talk about is with one of the guests that we had earlier in the show, and that was for the triple threat match for the RWE Junior Heavyweight Championship, and what we thought was originally supposed to have been a one-on-one match, but due to the actions of one Logan Maverick, it turned it into a triple threat. And I want to go ahead and bring on the former Junior Heavyweight Champion himself, and I can't believe I'm actually saying that, but Ray Ivy. Ray, this is actually would have been match number 2 for you, as you yourself was in that Call Your Shot Rumble match earlier on in the night.
Right.
Going into this match, it originally was supposed to have been a one-on-one match between you and Logan Maverick, and then all of a sudden with him, the way he's been antagonizing you, calling you out, calling all the old dogs out, and then the multiple sneak attacks, one from behind and one straight to the face, as we said it a couple weeks ago on the show, where he basically kicked you in the nuts. Give us your thoughts going into this match. You're muted. We can't hear you.
You muted me. Let me ask you a question. Did you just call me an old dog?
No, I did not call you an old dog. It's what Logan Maverick was calling all you JPJ, the vets in the business.
No.
Ray, I'm trying to be serious here.
Well, you know, I hate to admit it, but I let the little dude, I let the little green newbie, greener, whatever you want to call him, I let him get under my skin a little bit. Because if you pay attention to the match, what did I do right there at the beginning? I tried to kick his face off.
A couple of times.
And Austin, the astonishing Austin, that's what we'll call him. I ain't going to make fun of him. Because he put up a good fight, you know. Got one of the prettiest and the best looking fisherman suplexes in the business. Not just in Arkansas, but period, you know. To be so new, he's damn good. And I had control for the biggest part of the match. And what happened at the end?
Basically, you got screwed.
Yeah. And some, let's just say, a nightmare from the past.
That's
emerged itself.
where all the fun and games ended.
Yeah.
Because somebody that I thought I'd ridden myself of almost 15 years ago reemerged. And I'll get my rematch. It's obligated, you know. It was in the contract, you know. Blah blah blah. You get your whatever obligatory rematch, whatever the hell you want to call it.
Yeah, guaranteed rematch inside your rematch clause. Gotcha.
Can't think of the word because thoughts went through my head.
Oh.
But the thing is, after what happened at the end happened, I completely forgot about the triple threat, honestly.
Yeah, because then your attention went from trying to retain your title to now trying to, end this guy. And yes, if you've been keeping up with RWE, and more importantly, if you've been keeping up with the finds as of late, you know exactly who he's talking about, and you know exactly who we're talking about. And this T3, the newly crowned MCW heavyweight champion, all of a sudden just shows up, wasn't advertised to be there. Let's put that into perspective. Wasn't advertised to be there, but all of a sudden shows up out of nowhere. And my question is, if he was there the whole time, why did he choose to go after you? Because keep in mind, he has JPJ to worry about, and he's got a lot of other people to worry about as well. But why did he choose you?
He said he gonna sit there and say, to make his point very clear. But the only thing that I can think of is because got my wallet here because I know I'm gonna owe a little bit of money after this because he's a jealous little bitch. We used to be one of the most dominant tag teams in this area of Arkansas, the Mid-South. A lot of people don't. Okay, we've come on here before. We made comments, me and other people, we've been through the business 15 years together. We've been through the business 20 years together. I trained a lot of the new guys around this area. A lot of people don't know me and him. We grew up together as kids. Our fathers wrestled together. Batesville, Arkansas. Old Miller Gym. Thompson, you know where that's at. Cornbread, you know where that's at.
Yeah.
Our fathers wrestled together. Gravedigger, Midnight Special, Rockabilly. His mother, Deception. And we went our separate ways.
Yeah.
I'll be honest with you, hadn't kept up with him. Honestly, the man has not crossed my mind at all for the last years. And then out of nowhere, I hit the 870, land on my feet, hit the D trigger knee. Before I could even think about pinning Logan, here comes T3. Low blows me. I done forgot what he calls it. He hits me with the full Nelson slam. Now, why? I don't know. Because the only thing I can think of is he's jealous. Because, like I said, we grew up together. Hell, y'all know where those Miller Gym is. Y'all know that little grass, the yard in the back there. We used to play football back there.
Wow.
Then here comes, here I call Joey Britt out. He doesn't want to make the match because he knows it's not going to be a match. It's not going to be able to be contained in the ring.
Right. And this is not the first time that a situation like this has happened, Ray. And you know that as well as I do, as well as Mike does. Because correct me if I'm wrong, the last unsanctioned match before this one involved you.
I don't know if that's a reputation to be proud of, but yes, you're right.
I mean, just bringing facts. I
It
just want to make sure I had it.
No, it has been over 2 years since RWE had an unsanctioned match, and Ray was in the very first one with somebody he knows very well that we'll be talking about later on in the night.
Absolutely.
So, Joey Britt didn't want to give the match because he wanted to go out with a bang. And I'd done something that I've never done before. I begged for that fight. Literally got on my knees and begged for that fight. And he finally buckled and gave it to me.
But he did give it to you with one condition, though, that RWE and anyone else was not responsible for that match. Because, honestly speaking, and I do know a little bit of that history, the fact that having you two in the same building, bottom line, the company could not contain it.
You're right. You're right.
And to me, I think that not only Groats itself, not only RWE, but I also believe the state of Arkansas could contain you two either. And I think for Joey's sake, I think the reason why you guys was given this match was, I think, to me, to get it all out of the system and settle it once and for all.
Yeah, you're right. I think what he wanted was what Joey wanted, and the reason that he gave the match is simply because when we find a new home, he doesn't want to take any baggage.
Yeah.
He doesn't want to take any negativity.
Mm-hmm.
He wants to start fresh. But what's one of my favorite sayings? Welcome to the business.
Mm-hmm.
You're always going to find negativity. And when it comes to negativity, there's only one way to defeat that, and that's hit it head on. And yes, respect. I told you. You gained my respect in the ring, but you got a long ways to go outside that ring. And as far as I'm not out of your sight, Baby, look at me. I'm in everybody's sights. Why? Because this is something you don't hear me say very often. You don't hear me talk about this way very often and being egotistical. By God, I'll say it this time. I'm one of, if not the best in this damn area. I know that sounds egotistical, but something I've always said too. You got to have just a little bit of an ego to succeed in this business.
Got to believe in yourself.
If you don't have an ego, if you don't have just a little bit of an ego, you don't have belief in yourself. And if you don't have belief in yourself, what the hell are you doing in my ring?
Yeah, what
because
you're
I'll
doing
make
in
it.
sports.
Thompson, you remember when we first came to RWE?
Yep, I mean, you came at the same time.
Exact same day.
September.
One thing.
It was September 10th, 2020.
One thing.
Wow.
Joey Britt asks every single person that he brings into RWE, where do you see yourself going with RWE? Where do you see yourself at in 3 years, 5 years?
He said the same thing to me when I arrived in March of 2021. He said the exact same thing to me.
Most of the answers you get, I want to be the RWE heavyweight champion. Or if you bring a tag team in, we want to be the RWE tag team champions. I want to be the, junior heavyweight, whatever. That's not the answer I gave. Joey looked at me, he goes, Ray, where do you see yourself in 3 years, 5 years of RWE? The simple answer I gave, I want to be the face of the damn company.
Yep, and I remember hearing those words because he had asked you that question literally while me and you were standing there, literally signing our contracts.
By God, I've done nothing but bust my ass for the last 3 years to become the face of RWE.
Doing a good job of it.
And I think I am the face of RWE because no offense to any of the guys in the back. No offense, and I don't want it to come off like that. When it comes to full-time active wrestlers in the back, I'm the only one that's never left. So in my eyes and in my heart, I am RWE. When you think of RWE, who do you think of when it comes to in-ring performers? Me.
You're number one. No ifs, ands,
And
buts,
I'd
maybe
be damned if I let a piece of shit like that come into my company and take over. I know he's the MCW heavyweight champion, and I have no gripes against that company. I've wrestled for that company myself.
Yeah, you was on a few episodes of Defiance.
Yes.
Back when I first started, yes.
MCW tag team champions, not heavyweight champion, tag team champions with my brother-in-law.
Yep.
But now, 21 years later, look where I'm at. When you think of RWE, whether it's 2 years ago, whether it's today, whether it's 5 years from now, when you think of RWE, the first person you're going to think of is Ray Ivy. That's because I busted my rear end to get where I'm at. And then you got somebody like this that wants to come in and ruin something, that wants to come in and knock somebody off their pedestal. Well, by God, you know me from my past. You know me from our past. I'm the wrong SOB to confront like that. And this ain't no damn storyline. Just like Joey Britt said Saturday, we had a bunch of surprises. This was not one of them. If you want to get technical, let's say it. All these dirt sheets that you see, they kind of gray the line. Let me rephrase that. They try to gray the line between reality and storylines. Whatever you want to call it. There is no gray lines. This is 100% real life. This is 100% shoot. If you want to come into my company and you want to make a name for yourself, you pick the wrong son of a bitch to do so. Because in order to get me off my pedestal, let's go back to my old saying, you'll kill me before you beat me. And by God, I'm not dead yet.
Well, the question I got to ask you is if you ever got that call from MCW to go back to that door and they said, we want you to fight for the heavyweight title.
Mm. Wow.
I have one goal when I step in the ring with him. That's not to win a title. It's not to win a match. I said it Saturday and I'll say it now. The only goal that I have right now is not to end his career, but to end him.
Wow. I think he said it all, Mike.
Mike, you've seen me in the ring. You've seen me in the locker room. You've seen me on here. You've seen me at your house. You've seen me at my house.
Mm-hmm.
I'm done. I mean, simply say, I have no more to say.
Wow.
Well, stick around because I do have one more match I want to talk to you with. We're going to take a quick commercial break. When we come back, tag title, fatal four-way.
Hi everyone, I'm Cornbread Chris Heineken, the Dean of Arkansas Sportscasters, inviting you to join myself and the voice of the revolution, DJ Mike T, for the RWE Power Hour each and every week live. Special guests, breaking news, so much more. Anything can happen live, and it's unpredictable. Join us for the Power Hour.
And we are back. And I'm still trying to process everything.
Yeah, and the crazy thing is, Mike, especially from everything that we have been talking about up until now, and then from everything that happened Saturday up until this point, the question does remain: did what happened Saturday literally affect two companies going forward?
Absolutely, and
because we talked about the ramifications of what we're about to talk about right now. We talked about the ramifications of it and what could be either a plus or a negative coming up. I'll let you go ahead and discuss. Let you go ahead and start us with this one.
basically it started out as after the actions of Mariah Killer answered my question from earlier on. He doesn't have any daughters, but every girl calls me daddy. Stepdaddywade at gmail.com. Book Wade Matthews and I'll put you over, baby. Gray sweat season.
Wow.
I know.
Did he just try to promote Jerry Springer or Maury on the show? But never.
I think he basically was promoting what's the name of that show? There's an actual show that is actually...
It ain't called Parent Trap.
No, it's Parent Court is what it is.
Oh, jeez.
So
I haven't got this on the syndication. Oh,
right. Well,
but continue, Mike.
The match that we're going to talk about, it actually stemmed from over 2 weeks ago when we had a non-title contest between the debuting as a tag team, the East Coast Bad Boys and the Brothers of 187 and Serpent, taking on the current RWE Tag Team Champions, the BMF of Connor Vega and Jordan Real Talk.
Right.
Well, with this match going forward, because of Wade Matthews and the actions that happened afterwards,
right,
was made official that it would be an RWE tag team title match.
Mm-hmm.
Well, so that's what we was expecting.
Right.
We get both the champions and the challengers out.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, just when we thought it was going to go out, the next guest, same returning guest, but you, Ray, and Cove come out with a surprise.
Flag in hand.
And I will go ahead and let you introduce who your tag team partner was for the now triple threat match for the RWE tag team title.
Wait, come. Okay. Now that you gave me about a minute and a half to calm down, the music hits. Me and Cove step out, and everyone thought it was like, what the heck's going on here? Cove and Ray. And then the flag drops. And it's been over a year.
Mm-hmm.
Since you had seen the tag team of opposites attract.
Yep.
And when we dropped the flag, there stands Daddy Shane. And when I tell you, y'all was in there, so I ain't got to tell you, but you know the reaction from that crowd.
That was an explosion.
I think we broke a couple windows.
That was honestly one of the loudest reactions that I've heard in the 3 years of RWE.
Yeah, I've never heard a reaction like that.
When we said Saturday, when Joey said we have returns, we have surprise after surprise after surprise. The RWE, okay, Saturday wasn't for us. It was to give back to the fans of RWE and to give back to the sport of professional wrestling.
Absolutely.
That's what it was. So me and Joey sitting there, we were talking. And I can't remember how it was worded, but something came up. And before you know it, both of us had our phone going.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't know who each other was texting.
Mm-hmm.
Just so happened both of us was texting the same damn person.
Wow.
And it got even funnier because Cove was sitting over on the other couch texting the same damn person. And
so a three-way call turns into a four-way call.
No, because nobody said anything to each other. Just so happened, we all, I guess, I don't know, we all said, text me when you get here. All of us met out at the same time because I guess we all got, I'm here. We all met at the car at the same time. We're like, what the hell is going on? Not only did I want it, not only did Cole want it, but apparently Joey wanted it. And by God, it was something the fans wanted that they didn't know they wanted.
Right.
But you know what that tells me? Legit. You know what that tells me? RWE listens to its fans.
Absolutely. See, the thing is usually I know about the surprises that's going to be there, but I'm not going to lie, Cornbread. Even you.
Cornbread's reaction was the best, by the way.
Well, honestly, there were a ton of surprises I did not see coming. One was the infamous one that we talked about earlier. Did not see him coming.
Nobody knew him.
Exactly. Two, the other surprise that happened actually earlier in the night during that battle royal, towards the end of it, when we actually thought that Osabello actually won the thing, out pops one half of the new, and I mean the new Love City Tag Team Champions, and a member, I'm not even sure if he's still a member of the Rat Pack or not, that being the hooligan Addison Kane.
With his mini-me.
Right. And Now, when it comes to this match, okay, the flag go up. You're on one side, Cole's on the other side, and now all of a sudden the flag drops, and it's Daddy Shane?
And let me tell you, like I said, it's been a year since we tagged, but by God, we didn't miss a step.
No, the assisted 450 splash. I mean,
no,
that you guys had hit literally was like you said, you have not missed a step. But there was one more other surprise with that match.
Yeah, I was about to say there's more to the story.
Out comes, like you said,
Beer.
The heavyweight champion, JPJ and Warwolf McGowan coming out as Beer 30. The last time that we seen Beer 30 inside of an RWE ring, actually tagging as Beer 30, was when they went against Opposites Attract and
DFP
in a triple threat RWE Tag Team Championship match that DFP had won.
Yeah.
No, I'm sorry.
Did you notice something? I'm going to blame Beer 30 here. Every time we've had a tag team championship match with Beer 30 involved, I've always ended up on the damn floor with one of them and costing me the title.
That is true, but one thing still remains the same.
What's that?
We never got the full crew one-on-one tag between Opposites Attract and Beer 30 because it's always been either threats or a fatal four-way.
You confuse me. You said one-on-one, but two-on-two, actually.
I think from a tag team perspective, he kind of looked at you guys as a unit. That's why he said one-on-one.
Okay, let me rephrase this. So we never got to have a traditional tag match with two of the biggest teams in the state of Arkansas, that being Beer 30 and Opposites Attract. It's always been in the triple threat tag or a fatal four-way tag.
Yeah. Tell me to behave.
Here, but earlier in that Rumble, JPJ eliminated you, and then you turn around and eliminate him.
I think that's why he tried to ruin my surprise.
I guess so.
But, I mean, go back to what you said. It's never been the traditional tag team match. It's always been 3-ways or 4-ways. But, I mean, the more the merrier, you know, because when you got more than a traditional tag team match, you got 3-ways or 4-ways, you got more people in there, and the more the merrier, because the more people you had, the more people get to punch in the face.
Right. And it...
You didn't think that's where I was going with that, did you?
No, I went like about 14 different circles in once. I don't know how many times my eyes rolled around, forward, backward, up, down, left, right, or in behind my head.
I'm just trying to keep up.
But in all honesty, you know, it was a blast to be back in there with him, you know, back in the ring with Daddy Shane. And it's always an honor to be in the ring with Beer 30. Because they are one of the best tag teams around. But it's been at least 17, 18 years since I've stood across the ring from East Coast Bad Boys. I started in 2002. And in 2002 was the first time I'd ever stepped across the ring from the East Coast Bad Boys. And not only are they a legendary tag team in this area, in the state of Arkansas, in the Mid-South, you know, Arkansas, Tennessee, you know, all over. They're legendary, man, because why? They were one of the first innovators of high-flying action in tag team division.
Yeah.
And this past Saturday, to be able to stand across the ring from Serpent 187 was an honor. And I tell you how long ago I met that guy. I know it just did, but 187 was still called Spyro, dude.
Yeah, you're exactly right.
Spyro and Serpent, you know.
Mm-hmm.
You learn something.
I remember. Do what? I'm sorry, Thompson.
I said you learn something new every day. I've always known him as Serpent.
It was Serpent. You had.
Yeah.
I should say now you got Serpent 187. Back when I first met him, it was Serpent and Spyro. They both had hair down past their shoulders, like down mid to back.
Yeah,
and now they look like you, Thompson.
Give it a couple years, Ray. You'll be the same way.
Mm-mm. I'll wear a toupee.
Yeah. Jeez.
But, you know, and I think we put on I think we put on a pretty good match this past Saturday. You know,
I know you did.
The thing of it is when even at 21 years in this business, man, when you step in the ring with somebody like the East Coast Bad Boys, JPJ, you know, Bruce McGowan, the thing, you know, it all comes down to never be afraid to evolve.
Ain't that the truth? Get him.
That is one of the reasons. I mean, other than his talent and who he was, but one of the main reasons. Exactly.
Wow.
I swear to God, I hate Erica.
You said evolve.
But continue.
That was before I got fat. But anyways,
wow. I learn something new every day, but continue.
When The Undertaker first started, look where he's at now. That's why he was such longevity. That's why he has such longevity, is because he wasn't afraid to evolve.
Yeah.
That's why I have hit 21 years. The Ray that you see in the ring now, it was not the same Ray that you saw back in 2002.
Nope.
The thing is, if you love this sport, if you love professional wrestling, you will notice and you will accept the fact that it has to evolve in order to be able to stick around.
Yup. And it's always done it, and still the longest running sport. No matter what inclination it is, it's still the longest running.
Exactly. I mean, look, when wrestling first started, it was at freaking carnivals.
Mm-hmm.
That's why we basically used to be called carnies.
It was at first, yeah, because at first it was always known as special attractions, and that was right before the evolution when it went to operas and opera theaters, because most people looked at it as theater. Because I know MLW still has the Opera Cup still to this day, and they still have their Opera Cup tournaments. I know they got one coming up this year. But speaking on that, I honestly always felt like no matter which tag team you're with, and if you really want to break down the tag teams, you mentioned East Coast Bad Boys being a legendary tag team. Let's really look at this. Let's really look at this from the RWE side of things. You had yourself and Daddy Shane, opposites attract, 2 times over RWE tag team champions. You had Beer 30. I'm sorry, I got too many dollar bills going in my head. You had Beer 30 with 2 former RWE heavyweight champions, and the heavyweight champion was a tag team champion with you. Then you had Connor and JRT, I should say, who started out was a quote-unquote tag team. Then an injury occurred. One went singles, Somehow they're both reunited. They went into this match as the tag team champions. So you literally have 4 combustible tag teams inside of a legendary tag team scene on a legendary show like this. And there were a whole lot to be gained in this match, but I always had one question, and that question being this. Win or lose, what would that leave 2 different companies? Because 2 different companies were all represented in this match.
You're absolutely right. It's funny you asked that because not only do you have 2 different companies represented in this match, with the actions of earlier in the night, you had 2 different companies represented in the freaking main event.
Exactly.
You had the MCW heavyweight champion, Dipshit Tommy.
Well, yeah, newly crowned champion because he was crowned champion.
And then you had the face of RWE.
Right. Because the crazy thing is, Ray, he was crowned champion, 2-time champion, 24 hours before showing up here.
And, no disrespect to JPJ. And the reason I say that is because he had, other issues to deal with in Red James.
Mm-hmm. He got a victory out of that one as well.
Most people would think you would expect JPJ to step up, or Tommy to come in and go after JPJ, the heavyweight champion. But apparently he still had issues because, I achieved more than him, in my career. So apparently he wanted to ruin something of mine. But that's, I'm not going to get riled up on that one again. Let's go back to the tag match.
Yeah, exactly.
All you can expect from a match like you had Saturday night, before the bell even rings, you're watching something special.
Yeah.
You're fisting to watch history in the making. Because I can't even count how many tag team championships the East Coast Bass Boys have won before the match ever started. I couldn't tell you because they've won so many.
Mm-hmm.
And when the dust settled, they added one more to their list of accomplishments. Very well deserving by that.
Mm-hmm.
Very deserving. Because they had to deal with my tactics first of all. And then when me and JPJ were swapping, exchanging chops, poor little Tink Serpent come in. I don't know what he was thinking and got chopped and fell flat of his back and was like, "Yep, I'm done here, bro." He goes back to his But when now that Cove's here, we'll go back to the beginning. Not go all the way back to the beginning, but me and Cove were talking. I was explaining to him, Cove, how me, you, and Joey were just sitting there chatting, and then all of a sudden, all 3 of us text the same person at the same time without each other knowing. And nobody told each other anything until we went outside, and we all ended up meeting at the same place without knowing we were about to. And, I'm pretty sure Cove had the same feelings I had when we was getting ready to walk out the curtain. Didn't know how the crowd was going to receive it, how the crowd was going to react. But when we got the reaction, we did, man.
I've never, in the 3 years that I've been with RWE, we've had eruptions, we've had pops, we've had crazy reactions to things we've done in the ring or outside the ring, or stories we're telling, titles changing hands. There's so much there that we've got great reactions to, but I can honestly say that Saturday night when we dropped that flag and opposites attracted back together, I almost dropped an F-bomb just now. The building.
Oh, bro, I dropped a dip bomb a while ago, but
Dude,
We dropped a couple bombs. It's okay.
Yeah, the building erupted, and it was exactly what we had hoped for and halfway thought would happen, but we weren't sure, man. It's been a while. But I mean, when me and Ray came out there, just the two of us, the crowd was like, wow. And then we dropped that flag and there was Shane and the crowd was like, oh my God. So what a night, man. What a night for pro wrestling. I said that all night that night. Anybody that saw me, that asked me how I was doing, how are you holding up, was a question I got a lot because, we were unsure of the changes that were happening. I said, look, tonight's a great night for professional wrestling. Tonight's a great night for the fans and a great night for RWE. And,
if you go back, and me and Cove have watched it over and over again because we've, got the video on our phone of the crowd's reaction. First of all, let me put this out there. A lot of people, I know we say we're family, but a lot of people think, oh, they just see each other on weekends or whatever. No, me and Cove, we're in a group chat with opposites attract. We are constantly messaging back and forth. Dude, me and this dude stayed on the phone for over an hour and a half last night.
Yeah, I would say that. Yeah.
But if you go back, you can see there's this kid in the crowd, man. First of all, when we dropped the flag, you see, but you see this one kid go.
Yeah. Yeah.
Dude, I've said it before. I have many people asking, why do you continue doing this? Why do you continue putting your body through this? Why do you do this to yourself? Their reactions we got I'm goosebumps right now.
Yeah. Yeah.
The reaction that we got Saturday explains it all.
Well, let's speak on that for a second.
Let's speak on it, brothers and sisters. Are you with me?
Yeah, exactly. Because you guys remember when the very first AEW Double or Nothing, right there after the main event concluded, and out of nowhere enters John Moxley, and the building went completely nuts. And the crazy thing is, on the follow-up BTE episode, they actually showed what led on into John Moxley showing up, almost like a quote-unquote cover-up here, as if they were covering up Michael Jackson.
Oh,
we need to start filming this. That's what this is telling me. Where is he at? Right here. That's what he's telling me. We need to start filming these things.
But
are you saying we need to do a vlog on Saturdays? Dude,
what the RWE vlog?
I'll film it on my camera, on my phone.
Family friendly, Ray.
Oh, my bad. No, I'll film video of me.
But my question is, do you think
to the show? Do what? I wasn't listening.
Right, but I was gonna say, but my question was, do you think that reaction that Moxley got that night on the very first AEW show, which was Double or Nothing 2019, do you kind of think that was almost similar to the same reaction that what happened Saturday when literally the flag dropped? It was Daddy Shane, and the place came unglued.
That's a very fair, obviously on a much smaller scale, but that's a very fair comparison. To be honest with you, no one knew, and I'll give credit where credit's due. And this is not part of a wrestling angle. This is not part of a wrestling storyline. This is real life.
Yeah.
Another great surprise was Double J. I was in the ring and I had no clue he was in the building. None. Zero.
None of us knew.
We won't go there.
I had to apologize multiple times on the microphone because I'm like,
that was a very good reaction. And then at the end of the night, when Shane came out with us, it was, the place just went berserk. And I think that's why we knew this show was going to run long. We knew it was going to be a long, emotional show with a lot of great matches and a lot of great pro wrestling content. But, the crowd was still hot at 1 o'clock in the morning, man.
Mm-hmm.
When we were
show I've ever done.
Well, yeah, dude, when we were shutting the place down, man, the crowd was still hot, bro. And I think that there were so many things throughout the night that set the tone. And every surprise kept getting bigger and better And man, that just
And unpredictability, I think, to me, is really what kind of sold the whole entire show that night. Even though RWE has always been unpredictable, but I think with this, what happened Saturday and what happened Thursday that led up to Saturday, I think bottom line kind of set the mood, set the tone. Yeah, Erica Black said it.
I'm glad you said that word, unpredictability, bro. I mean, and the reason I'm glad is because I mentioned dirt sheets and things earlier tonight.
Yeah, no one saw this coming.
That is what.
not even
That's
us.
what's ruining professional wrestling is the damn dirt sheets. Because nothing can
Have I
be a
put
damn
them in their
surprise
place?
anymore.
Mm-hmm.
And to be able to keep a surprise in the business of professional wrestling today, whether it's independent, because I don't like saying, "Oh, you got the indies and then you got professional wrestling." By God, we're all professionals.
You're dang right. Get them.
The thing is to be able to keep a daggum surprise in professional wrestling today is a miracle in itself. But our show started at 7:30 Saturday night, and I'll sit here in front of y'all and the people watching. The decision to bring Daddy Shane in was not finalized until almost 6 o'clock.
Wow.
Well, speaking of Daddy Shane, I actually have footage of y'all's entrance. So, take a look. And you can see Cornbread. Your reaction was, and I'm surprised that Cornbread and Ray are still able to hear, especially with your reaction. But you can just see everybody who hasn't seen Shane in, like you said, Ray, over a year, just literally coming up, and you can imagine that pop in person.
Yeah, I mean,
the video does it no justice, man.
That's what I'm saying.
None.
That building was loud.
Loudest I've ever heard it.
Yeah, and another thing too. I found out that like I told you, I didn't know Double J was going to be there until he was on the stage, and as far as I know, that decision wasn't finalized till about 6 p.m. too. I don't know who did it or how it went down. I'm assuming maybe the boss, but I heard that it wasn't. It was right around the same time that both of those things were final, so it was very last minute. But like I said, man, if I know, I said this earlier in the show. If I know our boss, I know that he is willing to do whatever it takes to put on one hell of a show, and I think we delivered.
And let me bring up this. And I was gonna say, let me bring up. Yeah, I was gonna say, let me bring up this point because Joey Brick called all out there, the talent and staff and everybody at ringside for the State of RWE address. Keep in mind that none of these individuals that we are speaking of wasn't even out there, wasn't even in the building.
Yeah, I was going to say they probably weren't even.
The whole locker room emptied, and bottom line, not one single surprise was even there.
I mean, this will explain to you about what time Shane got there, man. The decision was finalized at 6 o'clock, right? He had to come all the way from BB, Arkansas.
Wow. Yeah, that's a drive.
So, I mean, like you said, I don't know what he was doing when he got contacted, but he got there. It was finalized and the decision was made about 6 o'clock. He didn't get there till after 7.
Wow.
Well,
and I don't know where the hell Double J was hiding because, I mean,
nobody knew.
When he was under the ring, the reason he was under so long as he got stuck, but.
Well,
hold up. I'm going to give the man credit where credit's due. I don't know how it happened, But somehow when we were fighting under the ring, he got me with something. I don't know if I need a tetanus shot or something, but he got me.
He thought
He got me. He
that
left,
was a sausage. He was hungry.
Hey, for real. Listen to me. The man left his mark. It was so dark under there, and I don't even know what he hit me with, but I was bleeding. So he did something.
That was steak sauce.
Well, February's around the corner. I'm just saying.
Well, speaking
Cornbread,
of
did you
February,
need to say that?
yes,
Well,
you did.
You know what he said,
that was a shot to the NAACP, okay? That's why.
He said Valentine's Day around the corner.
I said February around the corner.
But seriously, on a serious
I'm
note,
about to publicly ask Double J to be my Valentine. So when I see him on February 14th, I just beat the hell out of him again.
Thank you, Nazareth. Love hurts.
All right.
On a serious note, no.
My girlfriend's gonna
Cornbread,
kill me.
you actually had a meeting with. You actually had a meeting with Joey Britt yesterday, with Cove right here and everybody watching at home. You still haven't told me what it was yet, but now is the time to basically the floor is yours.
Okay, let's keep everybody on here, and I'm gonna look right there in the camera. Yes, I did travel to Newport yesterday. Of course, for AP and school board meetings and all that. But yes, I did happen to stop by L&M Body Shop, and I actually did talk to Joey Britt. And yes, it was right at a 15-minute plus conversation that I had with him. And I've never ever seen somebody that excited about a return, a RWE return, as much as Joey Britt. He did confirm a couple of things. One, we are returning. He literally just said we are on hiatus. He said, one, we are returning. Two, he did confirm to me that we have massive plans. Even media, we have massive plans coming. What those massive plans are, I have no idea. He did confirm to me, and Mike, you confirmed it as well, and I have the confirmation here that yes, a building was secured, and yes, a deal was secured. That much we know. Now, I did try to be a little bit, quote unquote, inquisitive about the situation, and he is keeping, quote unquote, silent. He said, you will know the same at the same time Mike would know, and the rest of the world will know. So, and trust me, like I said, when you want to talk about somebody's face being bright, excited, I've never ever seen Joey Britt's face lit up when it came to RWE as it did yesterday when we had that one-on-one talk.
Well, so far, so we do know building is secured. We just don't have a return date at the moment.
No, he did confirm at least in between 6 to 8 weeks, at least about that time. He literally flat out said right there in his office, and I was there in his office along with him. He said, bottom line, special things always take time. That's exactly what he told me.
I love how you talk with your hands, Cornbread.
Well, it's the better way to get the point across rather than just, hey, how you doing? And no emotion. But
I want to
everything is good.
Yes,
Go ahead.
Erica, you have to work while we're on hiatus. Because once, because he said we have a building secured. Once that building is the location, you have to go up there and you have to get footage of the building before and after so we can keep the fans updated.
Yep.
I'm gonna peel the curtain back for a second. I'm gonna bust down the fourth wall. This is inside. Oh my God, Ray. There's
Yes,
Hey, Ray, hang on, Cove. As Ray would do it, we'll go ahead and shine some light on the subject for you.
yeah. Listen, I'm gonna peel the I'll peel the curtain back here and break kayfabe for just a second. A lot of people don't. Yeah, a lot of people don't know this, but there is a media team, right? There's a media team at every great or every indie wrestling promotion at all. I hope. Some of them makes me wonder, but we won't go there. There's a reason why we are who we are, and they're not. So I'll put it that way. But
Right.
I do.
Before you go there, real quick, Cove, how many independent shows do you see do what we do on a weekly basis?
0 in Arkansas. But anyways, continue. Cove.
Yeah. Anyway, so there's a media team at RWE, and I wear multiple hats. I do the graphic design. I made the logo. I help with a lot of different things there. I make flyers, the flyers you see every week. Those are the things that I do too. Mike is on that team. Erica Black's on that team. There's a lot of us. There's a lot that goes into putting on a show that is more than just a show. Ray does, I mean, we all do things behind the curtain, in the locker room. Especially, guys like Ray taking somebody like me, and although he beat the hell out of me for a month, we had great wrestling matches and told a great story for our fans. There's so much that goes into a wrestling organization that no one knows, and it's because we don't tell you. And it's not because we don't want you to know. It just doesn't matter. All we want is the best for the show, the best for the brand, and I hate to use this term, but best for business. And I can confirm just on a media level that there's a lot of exciting things, including that nice little RWE logo. There might be something coming. There might be something coming along those lines that's beautiful. And listen, it's not bad. And I think it was Ray that quoted Charlene earlier. None of this stuff was ever bad. It was surprising. It was not bad. It is a blessing in disguise. And we're all very, very excited. Whatever the tricks the boss has up his sleeve, man, we're excited as hell to see what happens.
And go ahead, Ray.
Go ahead, because I'm gonna piggyback off something he said.
Well, because I will also say this. I've been talking to some personnel that I know personally behind the scenes, and I can confirm that not only will there be this new look to a lot of things, but let's just say when we literally make our new home, it will be a whole lot more that meets the eye. And when you first walk in and take a look at everything, and even from a production standpoint, you're going to be like, what is this?
To piggyback off what he said, when it comes to graphics, but before I go there, yes, Cornbread. Granted, I haven't got the have a conversation with Joey just yet, but when it comes down to it, like Cole said, when it comes to logos and things like that, when you have an opportunity like this, because like I said, I quote, like he said, I quoted Charlene, this is not a setback. Yeah, maybe a minor setback, but it's not knocking us down. It's not keeping us off our feet. This is a blessing in disguise. What this does is it gives us an opportunity. I'm not going to say guarantee because I haven't talked to them, but possibly to rebrand. And if it's done right, which I know it's going to be because, pardon my language, Joey Britt doesn't half-ass anything. This ain't going to do nothing but improve our brand. And I say ours because we all bust our ass for it. It's got the opportunity to reach more people in Arkansas. And when I say that, I'm not just talking about Northeast Arkansas. I'm talking possibly, Southeast Arkansas, Northwest Arkansas, There's so many opportunities in Arkansas because yes, we got what I know, we got Tuckerman, Hoxie, Hot Springs, New Hope, Osceola. That's 7 companies just in Arkansas. And with all
APW makes 8. APW makes 8. Sorry.
APW 8 makes 8. No, you're good. I forgot about them. And it's not dogging them. They're new. When it comes down to it, do I think RWE is the best? Absolutely. Why? Because you got to have that belief in your own brand. You got to have that belief in your own self. But at the same time, book it.
Yeah, turkey dinner coming. Go ahead.
The whole thing is I think the top 2 companies right now are RWE and MCW. Why? MCW simply because of the longevity of that damn company.
Yeah.
They are the longest running show in Arkansas.
And they reinvented themselves.
Exactly.
Yeah.
They went from
more inside ball. I made that logo too.
More inside. The RWE is for everyone. Boom. The whole thing is they went from that little building that they were, I say little because it was littler than the one they're in now, the small building in front of where they're at, drawing maybe 40 people max a week because literally it was a small building.
Very small.
They're killing it now.
But to the building they're in now, they're killing it. They're 100-something people weekly just as well as RWE.
Mm-hmm.
So when you got 2 companies like that working together, the only thing that can come from that is awesome, is positive.
Yeah.
That's the downfall to that's the downfall to professional wrestling today. Is you got companies that don't want to work. You got so many companies that could work together that could do great things, but all they want to do is bicker back and forth and want to cut each other's throats.
Yeah.
Why not work together, guys? Except for Tommy Wayne. Screw him. I hope he dies.
Well, think about this. It was that partnership that started January of last year that led to the birth of MCW Defiance that's still going on today. And we have yeah. And hey, DJ Mighty is executive producer. But bottom line, just through that, look at what's happened. It's way more than expansion because now you have some quote unquote MCW crowds and all of that. Because I had somebody in Missouri that normally would travel literally says, "Oh, y'all, where are you going to be at tomorrow?" And I told him, I said, "I'm going to be in Groves, Arkansas. I'm hosting RWE with DJ MIT." And I was like, "Oh, where is that?" And then I had to write down the address and everything. They showed up to the show and bought the whole family. It was like a pack of 15 of them.
You said
and they all enjoyed it, the whole start to finish.
Mike Thompson, can you pop up that comment from Alicia Wayne? I hope I'm saying that name right. Hey, listen, I'm going to tell you something. I'm going to use a quote that is very near and dear to my heart because I was a huge Sting fan all my life, and I know that the boss Joey Britt is a huge Sting fan too, so he likes this quote as well. But the only thing that's for sure about Sting is nothing's for sure, and that's the same thing for us, man. You never know if we're going to pop up. All I can say is go support good wrestling, go support good companies, and you never know who you're going to see.
Exactly.
And with that comment right there, Cove, you said it right there. You never know who you're going to see. It was just a couple months ago that we had 5 different states.
Hey, just want to point this out. The Sleazy E and the Alicia comments, they came from YouTube.
Yes.
Yes.
But like I said, we are simulcasting to our YouTube channel as well. So whatever you see here,
Is this the part where you use that really generic like gamer thing? It's like, go like and subscribe.
Oh no, we already did.
Subscribe, share.
Share, comment.
But see, not only that is we've got a Facebook page, we have a YouTube channel, we have TikTok.
Yeah, I was just gonna say that.
I think we are working on. I don't know if you or got this, or if we're working on a Twitter or an Instagram, but I think we're working on one of those as well.
We have an Instagram. We just haven't really used it a whole lot. And I'm gonna be. Oh my God, Ray. I'm gonna be real honest with you. I know that we will, and that part's on me because graphics are a whole nother monster. But we do have a lot of different social media stuff, including, and this is another thing I haven't even told anybody about. So here's you an exclusive: Snapchat filters, Snapchat geotag location filters. That's another thing that is worked on too. So when you take a picture in Snapchat, you can slide and slide and slide. Well, if you slide up, you can use different filters. You'll be able to find an RWE filter there when we reopen as well. So you heard it here first, bro.
And Ray, the answer to your question that you posted a few moments ago,
no.
No.
You talked
by
about
fans for fans.
And just a small snippet of graphics that you've done was this right here. Is like the RWE flyer that you've done with all of this.
That's awesome.
Yeah, he literally did all that, man.
But
thank you.
One that is just shown on our page that was released earlier today was this one right here.
Put that on a t-shirt.
And that right there is the basis of what we do is you cannot kill RWE.
Can't kill something that won't die.
All right, like I said, the logo that you see behind me, the logo that's in our upper right-hand corner has all been done by Cove. All of our graphics that are on our page have been done by Cove. A lot of your video work that you see through our YouTube Facebook page has been done by Erica Black with Black Spectrum Photography. A lot of the sound and the lights that you see at the show is done through myself with my company of S&T Entertainment. But the biggest that we could not have done all of this without is basically through our sponsorships.
Yep.
Right here, I know it will get updated here very shortly.
Yes, it
but
will.
This is just an idea of what we have, because I mean, literally, our sponsors that we have, you've got. I mean, we still have
Bad Boy Mowers,
almost
Backwoods.
Backwoods.
No, that's a different Backwoods company. My bad.
Huh?
Nothing.
But no, I mean,
but
the biggest supporter that we have of all is, and we couldn't have done a lot of it without them, is Alvin and Shay Vines of O'Reilly Auto Parts.
O'Reilly's Auto Parts.
Ow!
But we could not do it without all of them.
And yes, I know we're sitting here thanking each other. We thank Joey Britt, which is the main person we think, our sponsors are, Charlene. And I know we've done it thousands and thousands of times again.
Yep.
But the main ones we want to thank is the fans.
Absolutely.
Because that part right there, Saturday night, they showed up, they showed out, and they showed why RWE is as strong as it can be. I mean, let me rephrase that. RWE is as strong as it is. It's not near as strong as it's going to be, because we will. I know this is so generic and stupid, but it's the lack of better words. We're still pumping that iron. We're still working it out, all the kinks out, and we're going to come back stronger than ever and show them why we are and will always be continuously revolutionizing the sport of pro wrestling in the state of Arkansas.
Hey, and man, look, I'm going to leave it here, and I'm going to let you guys have your show back, because I know that me and Ray will take it over. And I don't think y'all want that. And also, like, I'd really rather not get canceled. But
that part,
we ain't gonna get canceled. We are not gonna get canceled.
Well, I'll peel the curtain back again. There's a private chat that these people can't see, and boy, we'd definitely get canceled.
Yeah. Yes.
Hey, this is the kind of stuff that I was talking about. This is a family thing, man. You've seen me have to cut my camera off a million times tonight because it's just too much fun with these guys.
Exactly.
I want to go down a little short line, and I know I'm going to leave people out, so please don't be offended or upset if I do.
One more organization I forgot to mention. I do apologize. Chaotic Kingdom Wrestling, Sherwood, Arkansas.
There you go. SCW too. Did we talk about that?
Yeah, I said Hot Springs.
Yeah,
okay.
Hot Springs.
But yeah, no, I want to go through a short list of people that listen. There's a lot of people that make this thing work, even if it's a little bit, even if it's a lot or a little bit. There's a lot of people on this list that make this thing work. People like we talked about earlier. Erica Black's a massive deal, and I'm very thankful for her and her work.
Exactly. Woo!
Brad Yarbrough. That's another one that I think deserves a lot of credit from us. And he does a lot of stuff for us, man. And that people don't know. People don't know that stuff. It's inside ball. But I think it's time to start giving these people credit where credit's due. Since we're on a hiatus anyway, hey, look, we got time to get our heads together and think about how we're going to make the next thing even better. So Erica, Brad, more people that are on the list that I'm probably
Leanne, Charlotte,
Leanne, Charlotte. Listen, they're two people that I really want to make sure that we get to because they are, in my opinion, and I hope the fans don't hate me for saying this, and I think some of them will agree. Alvin and Wesley Shea Vines, man, we would not.
Dang right.
Those two guys are the most loyal, the most passionate fans, and it has been an absolute honor to have them at our shows, and I cannot wait to see them again when we open our doors in our new building. But special thanks to those two as well, man. So thank you guys all for everything you do and everything that you've done, and I can't wait to see what we do when we open back up. Thank you.
Yeah, and I want to throw out some special thank yous as well. Brandy Courtesy, and Amanda, two people that even when things were tough, especially during times of matches, a lot of times our security people could not be there, and there were times even when Michael had to leave the broadcast table just to attend to some of the fans, whether it's a trip to the hospital or anything. I just want to say a special thank you to those individuals, big time, because even during some tough times where it could get rough and it could get tough, especially when you need some medical help, individuals along with DJ Mike T, along with some other people, will literally come run and go to the aid of our fans. And I do want to say special thank you. Absolutely, Alvin. You know we can't miss you, brother. And I also and I also want to say a special thank you to the company I work for, along with the Associated Press's Syndication Media Television Partners Group, for one of the shows that we did not have Erica on, and she was MIA. My company stepped in and said, "Hey, take what we do, and yeah, we'll give you guys a little bit of a break." Absolutely. And no, my boss, Eric Overton, and our company's based out of Toledo, Ohio. I want to say a special thank you to those guys, because normally on Thursdays we're focused on one show, especially after I'm off the air here. But they literally said, "Hey, you have yourself a little bit of a bond, so go ahead, take your camera, go ahead and shoot footage and help RWE out." And we do want to say a special thank you to those guys in Toledo, Ohio.
Yeah, we do. And hey, listen, I got another couple that it literally, as soon as I stopped talking, they would be so upset with me because we're so tight, man. But and I say we, and I don't just mean me and them. I mean them and the entire RWE family, and that is the Couch. The Couch family, Tanya, Jerry. We had Granny, God rest her, man. But look, they put in some hours with us too. I mean,
oh yeah.
So
speaking of putting in and helping clean up and build, I got one. Donald.
Yeah.
Donald,
thank you.
Donald, Little Jack.
Little Jack.
We got Big Jack. So Little Jack, he's all over the place too. Anybody that's helped out in the concession stand, man. I know there's been several different people in there.
But
yeah, the list could go on and on.
Oh, we can sit here for another 2 hours thinking everybody.
Oh, absolutely.
But I'm gonna go play my PlayStation.
Continue.
But again, you guys, it's going to be a rough 6 weeks, but at the same time, it's going to be an adventurous 6 weeks.
Hey, while we're on hiatus, you got to come back and see us when we open up, and I know you will. But while we're on hiatus, just referring to that Alicia comment, you never know where we're going to pop up. So go support good wrestling. If there's good wrestling in your area, or even if it's a little closer to your area, or if it's a drive, it doesn't matter. Go support good wrestling, because when we open back up, you already know where the best is at. But until then, you never know where you're going to find us, man.
To piggyback off that.
Yeah.
When you got friends that, you're in professional wrestling, you got friends, oh man, it'd be awesome. I can't wait to see you in the WWE. Can't wait to see you in, Impact, AEW. You got to support your friends where they're at now before they can get there.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And, if you can't afford tickets to those because they're expensive as hell, go support an indie show. Because your indie shows that you're supporting might be the guys that you support in the big times tomorrow.
Mm-hmm. Hey, keep in mind,
but see,
it's
not only
those
that,
big shows that are looking at here.
Before I go, Cove, you keep giving her my googly eyes, we're going to fight.
Hey, listen, I love you all. But, I got some things I got to do, so love you.
I love you.
For Cove, for Ray Ivy, for Cornbread, Chris Heineken, I am the voice of the RWE. We want to say thank you to each and every one of you guys for joining us here. And right there, Chris Shelby, the rebirth of RWE, bigger, better, better, and looking forward to it. But real quickly, I want to piggyback on what Ray just said.
Yeah.
Especially come support an indie show, because you never know. Those guys, Impact, AEW, WWE, Ring of Honor.
They're all watching what's going on here in Arkansas, to be honest with you.
Absolutely. Plus, you never know, one of them could show up unannounced on an independent circuit. So you go watch them. You go pay your $50, $60, $80 to $100 a ticket. Spend that $5, $10, or $12. Go to a local show. Support them before they can't even support you.
And also, and I'm glad you said that, Mike, because you never know, one of these shows that you go to maybe having the cameras rolling. And I will say this, if a RWE championship is defended in either of those companies, we will have our cameras there and we will document those title matches.
Ladies and gentlemen, for Cornbread, Chris Heineken, I'm the voice of the RWE, DJ Mike T. This is not the end of the Power Hour.
No.
The end for now, because we said it earlier, and I'll do it again. You can't kill RWE.
The RWE Power Hour